The Mario Galaxy series has some of the best levels in gaming, dude. Almost every galaxy is a classic and very memorable, which unfortunately didn't get translated into the movie. This was more of a general adventure instead of the Galaxy movie. Anyways, back to the games. You got obvious peak levels like Gusty Galaxy or Flipsville Galaxy, but there are so many galaxies in these games, so I decided to list my favorite ones. The only rule I had is one galaxy per world. This allows for some more variation in the list. Really, that's about it. So let's get right into the video. Good Egg Galaxy had the monumental task of being the first level in the game. It also had to justify the space gimmick. Spoilers, it succeeded. Good Egg Galaxy is a random collection of planets, but since it's in space, it makes sense. You got places like this half castle, half house planet you begin at. This giant egg is cool. I hate this peanut. You can go to this perk planet, which is cool. You start off on the outside, then you break your way inside for some 2D platforming. Genius. You got some generic grass planets and a star planet, which you can cheese by the way. The first star has you battling Dino Piranha, and it does a great job at being the first level. I give it props. The second one is an allegory for capitalism and the intense greed of humanity, as you have to scavenge around a lot of planets just to muster up a measly 100 star bits. Yeah, I'm supposed to be saving Lee's Luma's mom, and they still are trying to nickel and dime me. He turns into this planet, and I'm sure it's unique. Then you go to the perk planet as I mentioned earlier. Cap off this star by visiting a cheesy star. The last star says heck you and has battleships and a darker tone. Oh, and there are coconuts. You end this one by fighting King Caliente. I just want to mention how great these boss fights are. By the way, I just made a video ranking every boss fight in the series, and you should go and check it out. After you watch this one, of course. Yeah, I just did a shameless plug. What are you gonna do? Arrest me? Space Junk Galaxy makes me feel lost in the cosmos with no chance of escaping. But I mess with it, I'm not gonna lie. This galaxy has a striking theme of deep, black space, which makes you feel stranded, and man is this neat. All the planets are just random junk, hence the name. You got a starship, some floaty bits, pole stars, and hella rubble. The best part of this galaxy is the music. Listen to this masterpiece. Shit is beautiful, man. In the first mission, you go along a pole star path, going through random shit, until you arrive on this metal planet, where you have to free some toads, and then Captain Toad pulls up in a starshroom, which is hella ore on his part. Good stuff. Then, you go to this void. It has some platforms that appear as you go through it. Your goal is to get 5 silver stars, then you finish the level. This level is great, and also the peak of this galaxy. The second star is honestly buns. You don't even get the amazing theme of this galaxy. It just plays some Bowser bullshit. You also only explore these ships and fight Camilla. Camilla is the best part, and she has a fun fight, so it saves this star, but just a little bit. The final one has more junk. Let's go! Yeah, you explore another planet where you land on the outside of it, and then go inside. This is Mario Galaxy, so it's awesome every time. Eventually, you find some sling pods, and hella spiders. This place looks gross as hell. Go along the sling pods, and eventually you find this weird looking planet. When you go inside, you find a gross ass spider with zits or something. I don't even know. Tarantox is a fun fight, and it makes use of the sling pods, so it's cool. I like how random this galaxy can be, and it has some of the best theming in the series, at least for the first and third stars. Anyways, go listen to the theme of this galaxy real quick. Buoy Base Galaxy is a mini galaxy, but it has an exciting atmosphere, making it a very memorable one. The main star has you land on this planet that has a water base with a giant tower floating on it. When you land, the platforms are too high up to climb the tower, so you have to go underwater and lead this homing bill into this glass thingy, which allows the platforms to fall down, and now you can scale the tower. When you climb up, you have to avoid thwomps and bubble cannons until you get a screw that disables the bubbles. This causes the platforms above you to start moving, and they reveal these blue star chips you have to collect. When you get to the top and get the last chip, pole stars show up and you go into this floating planet right above the base. This planet has these laser guys, and one of them has a screw. Go remove it and this shit turns into Pokemon. Swim in the Pokeball and you win the Galaxy Gym or something, I don't know. I don't play Pokemon. The secret star is also cool, not just because it's the only mini galaxy with a secret star either. Using the homing bills, you break open a glass thing with a pipe inside. And when you do that, it takes you under the planet. Here, you have these platforms with alternating heights. What you gotta do is lower bullet bills to the star, which is also trapped in glass. As I said, for a mini stage, this one is the best in my opinion, as it has creative ideas, fun gameplay, and this theme song is so fucking peak. Alright, the next best level is Honeycomb Galaxy. This is peak. I mean, look at that. You go up the thing with the bee mushroom and you do all this and do that. Psych! I haven't lost my marbles. Gusty Garden Galaxy. I mean, you already know about it if you're watching this video. But yeah, it's a great level. The music is orchestral and sounds beautiful. You can ride around on flowers, swing on vines, and much more. This is honestly one of the most creative levels in the game. For the first star, you just go around these grassy green planets using flowers and vines. Eventually, you make your way to a square garden planet. When you land, this bunny is talking about some, "You gotta catch me, fool." So Mario has to hawk this thing down. I like bunny chases. They are always a great callback to Mario 64. In the second star, these stupid moles show up and they start causing a ruckus. Have you seen their hats? Of course they're bad.
What does that mean?
So you go exterminate mode, even on this cool question mark planet. At some point, you show up to this apple and see a stump that you can ground pound. When you do, a giant fugly worm comes out and goes to the next apple. After a couple more evictions, you can take a launch star to the boss, Major Burrows. When you show up, he is terrorizing a little bunny, so naturally, you gotta put belt to ass. The only low point of this galaxy is the last star. They ran out of garden-themed ideas, so you just explore these saucers for starships, which then takes you up to Minecraft. And these boxes have unique gravity, so navigating them can be tricky, but this shit is not Gusty Garden Galaxy. I rest my case. Toy Time Galaxy is a quirky-ass level. This one is set in a child's bedroom, which I guess makes sense, but it's also strange at the same time. What is interesting is I still like this level, even though it has a heavy focus on the worst power-up of all time, the Spring Mushroom. Despite that, the creative platforming and level design make up for that sin. The first star has you going through toy-themed planets. It has a section with conveyor belts that you have to use Spring Mario to get through. This star culminates with you landing on a giant Mecha Bowser toy, and you already know the goal. Scale your way up it, making sure to take an arm with you, and at the top, you see some gear must trapped, so you gotta ground pound this tower that goes through the toy. This then causes it to blow up. It should have taken those damn robots too. I'm tired of picking up your guys' trash. The second star has the same spiel, but it ends with a giant 8-bit Mario you get to run around. You have to collect these silver stars. Pretty easy, except for the fact that the platforms start moving, or they go away when you step on them. And the power star spawns all the way back at the front, so you have to leave a path back. It adds a little challenge, but it's still pretty easy. The last star has you platforming on sweets and desserts. First, it's like cakes and oranges, then you go to a frozen treat section. Before the boss fight, you land on a cake with lit candles, and in order to progress, you have to blow out the candles by spinning, which was a very neat touch. The boss fight is an underground gunner and uses the Spring Mushroom, so the less we talk about it, the better. Toy Time Galaxy is a pretty fun level. Good stuff. Splatter Galaxy has one of the coolest gimmicks in a Mario game. Basically, these platforms are appearing out of thin air from either these blue thingies or auto-scrolls, so it can look like you are in the middle of nothing, but when the platforms appear, you can move forward with them. I don't know if I'm explaining it well, so hopefully you can tell from the gameplay. Anyways, it has 3D platforming and 2D auto-scrolling sections, which are pretty tricky. One part even gives you the Spring Mushroom to use, and with the ground constantly moving, you gotta commit to any big jumps you do, or you're cooked. This galaxy literally has this one star, but it was a fun and challenging one, which to me is all that matters. I also want to point out the cool design this level has. Most of it has this green, spooky looking background, which is pretty fitting for this level's gimmick. It almost feels haunted. Also, at the end of the level, you go through a pitch black area, which makes the ending feel pretty tense. Splatter is pretty peak. The extra stars in Mario Galaxy are not good.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
These stars are usually even more simple than the 1-star levels in the main worlds. However, Sweet Sweet Galaxy is pretty fun. This is another sweets themed level. In it, you are running on this ground with cutouts of different shapes and sizes, so the ground is an op, and you gotta have good reaction time, as the ground has holes in it. Some parts have lightning bars as well to get in your way, which adds a little bit of a challenge. This is just pure platforming and has nice theming, so it's the best extra galaxy in my opinion. World 1 has so many banger levels, so it was hard picking my favorite, but after a little bit of thinking, I chose Fluffy Bluff Galaxy. This galaxy is set on these cliffs with some water, grass, and cool buildings. This just captures the vibe Galaxy 2 is going for, and I appreciate it. Also, this level introduces the Cloud Flower, which is the best Mario power-up. You are able to make 3 cloud platforms, and it makes you floatier, and you can go further. So like I said, it's the best. As for the stars, they are cool. The first one has you looking for Captain Toad, which takes you from the starting planet to a small one with cosmic clones, and then finally, you land on the bottom of a cliff and have to climb up it. Then, you can swing onto a tree where Captain Toad is straight weeping, but who cares? You jump across trees to the top of a mountain and meet the chimp. This shades-wearing monkey is my favorite obscure Mario character. This guy is just full of aura. The chimp has these challenges throughout the game, and the next star happens to be one. The chimp's stomp challenge is the next one, and it has you stomping. Wow, who would have guessed? Anyways, you have to jump on enemies, collect coins, and nab star bits to beat his high score. When I was a dumbass kid it was hard, but I've grown and now I realize it's pretty fun. And if you chain jumps on enemies without hitting the ground, you get extra points. So that's a strat and man is satisfying. The final star is a secret star. You go to the first star and collect coins on the first planet. This needs a secret coin room behind the big tree. Eventually you grab the cloud flower and hit a couple backflips until you reach this cloud platform. This has a hungry Luma and a coin that spawns even more to get enough. This makes him turn into this tower planet you have to climb up using the cloud flower. Overall, despite only having 3 planets, this course manages to make each star feel unique. I love Cosmic Cove Galaxy. It is so unique. This stage has another somber feel to it with the blue color palette and music. In the first mission, you begin on this giant planet full of water and mountain peaks. You land on this beach in Nabakupa shell, so you can swim under this mountain to get to a giant cove. This area is big and full of enemies and penguins. However, what you're looking for is above the water. The star is on one of these floating planets with waterfalls. Luckily, this little building has a switch on top that happens to freeze all of the water, including the waterfalls. I do feel bad for this penguin that got stuck underwater. Like, how the hell is he supposed to get out?
All around me are familiar faces, worn out.
Anyways, you can wall jump up the waterfalls and bam, you got a star. This area does have a secret star that is gated behind coins again. Just swim around and collect them. The Luma turns into this planet with a water surface covered in holes that have a black hole underneath it. When you land, this bunny tells you to chase him, so you oblige his request. One tactic is to hit this switch that temporarily freezes the planet, then you turn into Alyssa Liu to catch the bunny. For a secret star, it's alright, but it does get you to explore this beautiful cove, so I got no problems with it. What I like about this galaxy is that it has continuity. In the second star, you land on the same planet, but the ground is still frozen. You also see a Luma is trapped and you have to find a key. You go down this warp pipe and have a cool 2D segment where you are swimming in the caves. At the end of it, you take another pipe to the middle of space with more 2D swimming. I do not know how this is possible, but I won't ask about it. This is pretty cool as the segments of water are moving and you have to swim along it. Eventually you get a key and a conveniently placed pipe that takes you to the Luma. Get back and he turns into a launch star, which then takes you to this planet that's separated by a wall. On the side you land on, you grab a spin drill, go to the other side, and kill all the enemies. This opens a piece of dirt that when you drill it, it floods the planet, allowing you to reach the star. Mario Loki hates the environment, dude. He's freezing whole lakes and flooding a freaking planet. PETA, you need to get on this ASAP. Cloudy Court is what many say is the Gusty Garden of Galaxy 2. They both have excellent themes full of greenery and have amazing songs to boot. This one takes more of a castle theme, and I mess with it. The star is a lot more dense than Gusty Garden, meaning it has less content, but it's good. You platform through a bottomless pit of blue sky, and you get to use the cloud flower, so it automatically gets brownie points for me. After one section, you start using the cloud flower to make platforms, and these wind turbines move them for you. A genius mechanic for sure. Then, you jump up on these drums and assemble to get to the next section. This has more cloud riding, followed by a 2D section with even more cloud riding. This takes you by a wall that slams shut, so you got a time when you go up the middle, then you can nab a star. This one has another Hungry Luma star, and it takes you to a planet with poison and cloud platforms. Littered on these platforms are silver stars you have to grab. When you start moving, these cosmic clones appear, so you gotta plan your movement carefully, so bullshit doesn't happen. The other star is just a common mission where you platform on these appearing and disappearing platforms, paired with even more cosmic clones. This is pretty short, but it's still good platforming. Overall, this galaxy is decent, but it gets carried hella by its vibes and power-up choice. Shout out to Flipsville, that's where I grew up. This level has the unique gimmick of switching gravity when you go through the ground, either through a ground pound on panels or drilling through the ground. This level has this weird house aesthetic, but it feels like a Skinwalker's approximation on what they think it looks like. You start on this little house looking for a launch star by going through the flipping panels. Once you do make it to the star, you get sent to this other house thing with chain chomps. Basically, you avoid these and test your courage a little bit. You have one last 2D section where you gotta switch quickly on a moving platform, or you get turned into someone's dinner. Lastly, you land on a planet with a sleeping glamdozer, and you gotta slam her from underneath, which is messed up. Kick her ass, and you get a nice star as a prize. For the second star, they fuck up the houses by adding dirt, so you gotta use your drill and go digging. Like everywhere ever, you start at the beginning planet again, but like I said, dirt. Then, you go to a planet with hella dirt pillars, which you gotta go around it like a puzzle to get to the pipe. Once you do, you enter this gravity room with 9 sections. Each one switches its gravity on a beat in a different direction. Your goal is to navigate it until you collect 5 silver stars. This is a pretty cool way to use a spin drill, so I dig it. One thing sours this galaxy for everyone though, the purple coins in the 9-room thingy. It has a 2-minute and 30-second timer. This shit is the bang of my existence, as you have to understand where each room points, and sometimes you gotta do some wall jumps, which is ass with the spin drill, may I add. Not only that, you better make sure you nab every damn purple coin, or guess what? You don't get 100 and you gotta restart. Thankfully, I am the GOAT and got it first try, so suck it, bozo. If you spent any time on the internet, you know about Shiverburn Galaxy, and it's because of these scary aliens, dude. Why are they watching me? Shiverburn Galaxy is another level that combines fire and ice into one, and man is this version good. In the main star of this level, you begin on this platform of fire, and you can either be a long jump expert with the cloud flower, or stay on this moving thingy. But the goal is to get to the switch, and when you do, the whole platform gets frozen. It doesn't make sense, but I don't got time for that. This is peak. Then, you go to this planet where you jump on moving pillars, and there's a pit of lava underneath it. This is a fun platforming challenge, even if it lacks ice. Take the launch star and you arrive on this ice section where it's raining meteors. When they hit the ice, it makes these lava pools, and that's hella cool. Even better is when you get to this lake of fire. It rains ice and does the opposite. It freezes the lava. Now this is some groundbreaking shit, Nintendo. Lastly, you fight Prince Picante, and this guy is also on theme, which go off I guess. He shoots fire at you in an ice rink, so of course the ice becomes lava pits. Anyways, hit some coconuts, or watermelons in my peak gamer case, at him, and he freaking blows up, dude. That must hurt. The galaxy then has some filler stars, but I still like them. One has you skating in the boss arena, but your goal is to eradicate the Octoombas with a star. This was hard for little baby boy Swimpy, but now I got the strat down. It's satisfying to finish this star, just to see all the star bits on the ground. The other one is a secret star, where you go down a pipe on the first planet, which takes you to my goat, the chimp. He has you do a skating challenge where you hit these balloons to score points, and it's pretty cool, so overall, this galaxy is great. Also, the skybox being a canyon makes this level feel even more creepy and mysterious, so props to you, Nintendo. Bro picked Slimy Spring Galaxy. Out of every level in World 6, why would I choose this overlooked level? Well, first off, the song that plays is so out there for this game, and it's kinda creepy sounding. I really like the song itself, but how about the level? It's pretty cool. You land in this cave covered in water, and you have to jump down this big ass slide. You splash into these caves completely submerged in water. Steal the Koopa shell nearby and start moving through the caves. You have to avoid these wiener guys. Yeah, that's how I'm describing them. And these spiky dudes. At the end of the section, you go up a slide and throw a shell into these bricks. This reveals these ugly ass eels you have to swim under to find the launch star, which takes you to a giant tower made of bricks that you have to jump down. This takes you into another swim section, but themed after that tower. This section is cool because it's littered with booze, and there are walls in your path, and the only way forward is through these rings that make you speed up hella, which makes it hard to steer. Eventually, you go up one more slide, and bam, nothing. You land in this small field with some trees and waterfalls. There's a single chest, and so you break it open and... Captain Toad? I don't even want to know how this little mushroom got here. So you do you, bud. Anyways, what makes this so memorable is that there is no music, just the ambient sounds of nature. This is strange as it's the only instance of this happening. That makes it almost jarring. This galaxy already having that weird song, and then it ending in silence, makes this level so memorable for me. It kinda captures an uncomfortable feeling, which just fits in with the galaxy theme already. Good shit. Oh, and the second star is a chimp challenge. Through the same parts, but shout out my guy, I love this monkey. Grandmaster Galaxy is one of the hardest galaxies of all time, dude. This is the final level you unlock for getting 240 stars. 120 normal ones and 120 green ones. After all of that, you get this tough as nails platforming challenge, and man is this great. You start off with a Yoshi segment, where you use his tongue to grab these flowers, and swing around over a bottomless pit. You have to navigate these Goombas, spiky things, and bullet bills. The next section is like a switch puzzle with these laser guys, and I mean, it's kind of easy. Then you go to a Cloudflower section where you navigate a lightning bordered tunnel. It has air pushing you forward, and this one is fun at 360 MLG no scope. Then, remember those things that flip when you spin? Well, the next section is just that. You go over these platforms and throw in some green shrinky dinky ones. This would be easy, except we got these laser guys that shoot a circle of lightning, which is not cool. And you got these big ass dudes shooting fireballs at you, like, bro, why are you here? Go back to your family or something. We got a pole star bit that was giving me some trouble. I don't like lightning bars. And lastly, navigate these flipping thingies while avoiding hammer bros. Like an ungodly amount of hammer bros. Until you get to the end, where you gotta kill 3 boomerang bros. So they made it a little different. And I didn't do that. I already beat this level, and I mean, I showed you the end of it, so be happy, please. There also is a comment on this star where you have only 1 hit point, and please just end me already. This took me a couple days to beat originally, and that's all I gotta say about it. I value living on the earth. And those are some of my favorite levels. I love like 90% of them, which made this list hard to make. With so many peak levels, I wanted to know what your favorite galaxy is. Are you weird like me and you like Slimy Spring Galaxy? I wanna know. If you enjoyed this video, also please consider dropping a like and subscribing to the channel. And with all that, have a good day, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.
Swim, ban the simps, but bro, we still pimps. We chillin' with chimps, tiny meat looking limp. What? And we call it baby shrimp. Just bought a blimp, you're trash, sitting in a dump. Man's built like a